Hello friends, and today let's talk about section 154 of CRPC, that is the information in cognizable cases. And in this lecture we will talk about subsection 1 of section 154 of CRPC. So let's have a look at the content of the section 154 of CRPC. So subsection 1 says that every information relating to the commission of a cognizable offence, if given orally to an officer in charge of a police station, shall be reduced to writing by him or under his direction and be read over to the informant. And every such information, whether given in writing or reduced to writing as aforesaid, shall be signed by the persons giving it, and the substance thereof shall be entered in a book to be kept by such officer in such form as the state government may prescribe in this behalf. Now, in order to understand this section fairly, let's segmentize this section into various segments. So, my first segment is this, that every information relating to the commission of a cognizable offence. And in this section, what is important? That what is the cognizable offence? So, the cognizable offences are the offences of very serious nature and heinous nature. For instance, the offence of rape or the offence of murder. And what is so special about these offences? That in these offences, whenever commission of such offences is reported in the police station, then investigating officer, any police officer who is authorized by law, can initiate the investigation without the permission of magistrate. And if the offence is not cognizable and if offence is non-cognizable, then in that case the police officer has to seek permission from the magistrate before starting the investigating in them, before starting the investigation in them. Now question comes that from where will the police officer find that whether the offence committed is cognizable or not? So there are three ways to find out that. The one way is regarding the offences which are given in the Indian Penal Code. So if you will have a look at the CRPC, at the end of the CRPC, there is Schedule 1 appended. In Schedule 1, all the offences of Indian Penal Code are enlisted. And in front of these offences, it is written whether the offence is bailable or non-bailable, or whether the offence is cognizable or non-cognizable. From there, the police officer can find out whether the offence is cognizable or not. Now, what happened that an offence is committed which is offence as per the local and special act existing at that point of a time. For example, selling of cannabis is not an offence as per the Indian Penal Code, but it is an offence as per the NDPS Act. So, in that case, it will be specially given in those acts that this offence is cognizable in nature, and a police officer can start investigation without the prior permission of the magistrate. Now coming to the point, the third thing. The third thing is that when it is not given that whether the given offence is cognizable or not, it is not given anywhere. Then what the police officer will do? He will see the uh, quantum of the punishment in that offence. If the quantum of punishment is more than 3 years, then that offence will automatically be considered as the cognizable offence. So this is how we find out whether the offence is the cognizable or not. Now coming to the second segment, the second segment is that if given orally to an officer in charge of a police station, shall be reduced to writing by him or under his direction. So what does it mean now? That whenever any information regarding the cognizable offence is given orally to the police officer, then it is duty of the police officer, it is incumbent on the police officer that he has to reduce that oral information into writing by himself, or he should direct somebody to do this to reduce that into writing. Now coming to the third segment, the third segment is that and be read over to informant, and every such information, whether given in writing or reduced to writing as aforesaid, shall be signed by the person giving it. So the third segment is what? After recording that information in writing or reducing that information in writing, now it is the responsibility of the station house officer to make sure that that information has been read out to the informant. And what is the intent behind it? The intent is very simple, that informant should be satisfied that information has been reduced in writing as per his version of information. And once he is read over that information, now station house officer will tell him to put his signature on that statement, that information. And what is the intent here? Intent here is very simple, that first is that the informant is satisfied that that information has been reduced in writing as per his version, and second thing is that that police also has a proof that they have received the commission of an cognizable offence by so and so person. Now let's come to the next segment. The next segment is that and the substance thereof shall be entered in a book to be kept by such officer in such form as the state government may prescribe in this behalf. Now what happened that the content which is reduced in writing, now that is to be kept in a book, that is to be entered into a book. In here book, now in Himachalian police stations what happened that we have a register. In the earlier times, what nowadays we are doing everything on the computer with the advent of technology. Now we do what, we record this information on computer, and then at the end of the year we take out the printout and we maintain a register, that is register number 1 in the police station, and that is the this you can say that is the FIR register, and that is the permanent record of a police station. So that is all about the for 154 CRPC, which is about the information in cognizable cases. Thank you very much.